Hello and welcome back to CT's Corner. That's me, CT Shackleford. Welcome back to the revolution. Welcome back to the discussion. This week's topic is in honor of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s holiday. And the topic will be on racism. It is a hard topic. It is a ugly topic, but I'm going to try and do it some justice, okay? First of all, I want to say, I know that if he were looking down, he would be happy about some of the accomplishments, and one of them being the election of our first black president. But with everything that he had in mind, there's a lot still to be done. I know that racism will never ever be eradicated like polio. That won't happen. But hopefully things can get better. How things get better, I'm not really even sure. Except I think that we all have to do like Michael Jackson say, look at the man in the mirror. You know, I want to talk about, first of all, the subliminal messages that are out there. I'm going to try really hard not to be too wordy or try not to be ugly. But I need to get some points out. But if growing up, when I watched television, there was not a real positive representation of myself on television. On one hand, I would have the Brady Bunch over here, a wholesome family. And then over here, I would have the Good Times, the poor family, always behind the 8-ball. We were poor growing up, but damn, they could never get a break. So if I were a young kid growing up and watched television and never saw a positive image of myself, then what would I possibly think that I could become? I don't really know. Even now, if you were to go in a major department store and go to the makeup counter, for example, and there's a free gift with purchase. The free gift, the color choices would not at all look good on my dark skin. It would not be made for someone like me. They wouldn't give you two different options, one for someone that's fair skin, one that's for dark skin. They'd give one. And it's always a choice of someone that has fairer skin. If you look in a sales catalog and there was an option between black or white, the white image would be huge for the whole page, but the black image would be this small. Okay, so again, if I were a young kid in this world and trying to find my place in this world, then of what importance do I see myself? And I'm just talking about black and white stuff. I hadn't even talked about the Latino kids or the kids who are yellow and red. I hadn't even talked about those people. Ooh, did you hear what I just said? Those people. You know I didn't mean it that way. My son, who is 9 years old, probably 2 years ago when he was 7, a little boy in his classroom told him that his skin was the wrong color. The wrong color. Wow. I was sad more than I was pissed. I was sad because this little boy already has been indoctrinated to think and believe that his skin color is superior. And where did he get that from? I know growing up in my household, I never heard my mother, let me just say this. My mother was not prejudiced. I'm not prejudiced. I never heard her say a disparaging word about a white person. I grew up and formed my own opinion. And what I do know about white people is that I am not racist and all white people are not bad. Because if that were true, the Emancipation Proclamation could have never happened. The Underground Railroad could have never happened. The Civil Rights Movement could have never happened. And we would not have had success with that. So this is what I know for sure. Another thing that bothers me. Well, I think I talked a little bit enough about the subliminal messages. I hope you understood that. And as a result of those subliminal messages that I grew up receiving, even when I watch television now, I don't watch a television program where I don't see at least one single person of color. And they don't just have to be black. I'm just saying. I need to see a reflection of a rainbow on a television program in order for me to be comfortable with sitting down and enjoying myself, because I have to be able to see myself, because I have to see that somewhere up in there we've been included. Another thing that bothers me, and under this umbrella I'm going to talk about two things. Desensitization. I think that we have all become so desensitized to the things that we hear and we see that it doesn't even matter. The first one is the N-word. There are a lot of black people that like using the word. I hate the word. I know the origin of the word. I've even heard a comedian say that it is, what did he call it? He called it art or poetry. There is nothing poetic about that word. There's nothing. I could go on for days, and I also don't judge people who use it. I just don't like the word. When I hear it, it cringes. It makes me cringe. I don't want anybody to look at me like that. I don't want anybody calling me that word. That word, nigger, nigress, I don't want to hear it at all. The other one is the fact that I see the Confederate flag flying. Now, I live in the South, in Georgia, and it's nothing unusual to be driving around and seeing the Confederate flag waving around in somebody's yard. Now, I understand that it is a part of history. I get that. But I don't need to see, but for me, the Confederate flag means you want it to go back to where it used to be. And I ain't going back to where it used to be. I can tell you that now. But when I see it, I think that most people have gotten so used to seeing it that it doesn't matter to them anymore. But if I see it, the first thing I think is, who lives in that house? Who's flying that flag? And what are you trying to say to me? I'm just bothered by it. But I don't know if you've heard about the, I'm going to go back for a second, because there is this video. A girlfriend told me about it. I won't waste my time looking it up. I think it is sick. It is dreadful. Some man, of course he's a white man, saying to his daughter, I think she was like 4 or something years old. If I watched the video, I would know this, but I don't really want to know any specifics. I just think it's sick just to imagine. He told his daughter that when she gets to a certain age, she's going to turn black. And she's, no, Daddy, no. What in the hell? You're talking about indoctrination. Oh my God. I don't even know. I am just speechless. I really have nothing else to say. I'm just in shock most of the time with some of the things that happen still in the year 2012. I'm hoping that one day, I know that racism will never be eradicated. I know that people judge me based solely on the color of my skin before even getting to know how really, truly great and wonderful I can be. But I'm okay with that too. Because I'm okay, I can stand firmly in who I am with my beliefs, even when the whole world is against me. Because I believe you judge people by their intent and not necessarily by what they do. But how are we going to change racism in the years coming up? I'll do my part. And I just hope that everybody that watches this do theirs. So, but until next time, don't forget, it is not what happens to us that determines who we become. It is what we allow ourselves to become. Don't forget to find me on Facebook, CT's Corner, on my website, ctscorner.com. And until next time, be cool. Bye, everybody.